Hi, thanks for joining me again. Today I wanted to show you a restorative child's pose. So child's pose is a very traditional, foundational sort of yoga posture that is done in almost all yoga classes. But restorative yoga is a little bit different than your standard yoga class. So in restorative yoga, we use props in order to really deeply relax in a pose without discomfort and effort. And we stay in the poses longer in these places to allow the body to naturally unwind without force. So I'm going to show you the child's pose, which is one of my absolute favorite poses. Child pose, I feel, what comes up for me is this feeling of self-love and self-care. When I've really been putting a lot of energy out into the world, or I feel really triggered or activated by things around me or people around me, child's pose is a way to come back into myself. And it's very soothing because we're basically tucking ourselves kind of back into our own womb in a way. So I'm going to show you that pose, and maybe you can try it at home and you can message me and let me know how you liked it. So the traditional child's pose, which I'll show you first, is either done with knees together or knees apart. So first, knees together would look something like this. Sometimes with your arms back and sometimes with your arms forward. Now this can be a really challenging pose already for a lot of people because they may not be able to sit all the way down. So we're going to show you a couple of different adjustments for this pose. First of all, I want to say is if you have difficulty sitting down on basically your calves, let's say maybe you're way up here because you just lack that flexibility. I want you to put a support or a blanket just right underneath, right by your knees, underneath your hamstrings, okay? And then you can come forward. Now, and you may need more than one. It's all about experimenting with your props to find out where the comfort is. So, in a restorative child's pose, we're going to use a wide leg stance. And we need the wide legs because we need to actually put supports right here. So I have this very large bolster, but you can also do it with several pillows and blankets. And I'm going to actually show you with both. First, I'm going to put my bolster here. Now this is easy because it's already big, but it's no need to go buy a bolster. You can use lots of blankets and pillows in your home. And since we're all at home anyway, self-isolating, I'm sure you know where all those things are. Anyway, so we're going to start like this. Now, what I always say to people is, again, this is an act of self-love to use supports and care. Please don't ever feel like you need to be in a yoga position in restorative yoga and feel any discomfort. I'm going to try to teach you some skills in order to be able to support your body so you can totally relax. It's very common to be in a restorative yoga pose for 10 or 15 minutes and sometimes longer. So you really do want to be comfortable. And anytime also that you're in the pose and you feel discomfort, you can just grab another tool, okay? So just make sure you have a nice big pile of blankets and pillows and blocks near you. So I'm going to start off with this and just see how this feels. So you really want to tuck it way in. And again, my legs are open wide. And do you see how I'm just going to oh my goodness, I'm just going to melt right over these blankets. Now, everybody is going to have a different neck to upper back ratio. So that might mean that you need to adjust these pillows to support your upper back more. Please everybody, it's an internal job here. It's not about how you look in the mirror. It totally is laying down, using the props, and experimenting. Do I feel like I could lay here for an hour? That's pretty much what you need to ask yourself. And that's the level of comfort that you need in a restorative pose. So what I would generally do when I was in child's pose is I might set a timer on my phone for to go off in 10 minutes, so 5-minute intervals. I'll have a ding for a 10-minute length of time. And why I ding in the middle is because you want to have your head or your neck faced one way, but not the whole time, because you will get stiff. So you can switch it in the next 5 intervals. You can just move your neck. And if you really lack the flexibility in your neck, you can just put your face down. And you can just roll your pillow up and place your forehead. So you have enough room to breathe, but you're still pretty comfortable. And that might mean when you do that, you need to add another support. So I'd like you to try this at home, see how it feels, and also take note of how you feel after you've been in restorative child's pose. Do you feel like more centered and more calm and more in your own self, as opposed to kind of being in everybody else's stuff all the time? Really easy to do as we're all at home in self-isolation, to spend lots and lots of time with people that you don't generally spend a lot of time with, even if they're your family. So it's really good to have these tools to come back into our own place and get some peace of mind. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.